very good morning, all of you. Now, today we're gonna discuss the rest of part of the network. In that, today we'll discuss about the IP addresses, IPv4 protocol, Internet Protocol version 4. After that, Internet Protocol version 6. That means IPv4 and IPv6. And after that, we'll discuss about the public IP and private IP. That means a differentiation between the public IP and private IP. Later on, we will discuss some command like dig command, traceroute command, host command, ping command. Okay, so like that stuff we'll do. We'll do it on the VMware player. So I had this account of VMware player. Later on, we will discuss about this command. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand the theoretical part of the network. Let's start with IP addresses. Actually, there are two types of IP addresses currently available. Okay, so the first one is IPv4 protocol, and the second one is the IPv6 protocol. So what is IPv4 and IPv6 protocol? Okay, IP stands for Internet Protocol. Make understand. Okay, make a note of that. So Internet Protocol version 4 called as a IPv4. Okay, and Internet Protocol version 6 called as a IPv6. Okay, so what is the need of IP6? We'll discuss about today itself. Okay, so earlier just we are using a IPv4 protocol. Later on we are using both IPv4 and IPv6. Right now lots of users are using internet, and each and every user require the internet protocol if they wants to connect to the internet. Okay, so that's purpose. The limitations, or we can say the requirement of IP addresses is very less. So for that reason IPv6 will be available. Okay, so let's discuss. So how many bits are available? See, what is a bit? Bit is nothing but a computer understandable information. Okay, so when we talk about the bit 0 and 1, when we talk about the binary contains 0 and 1. That means what? Computer can understand only 0 and 1. Computer can understand only 0 and 1. Okay, no other language can computer understand. So similarly, it uses 32-bit. What does it? It means that the combination of zeros and 1 up to 32. क्वांटिटी विल बी द 32 कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ जीरोस एंड 1. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि इसके 32 बिट के अंदर 1 आएगा, 2 आएगा, 3 आएगा, 4 आएगा, 6 आएगा, लाइक दैट स्टफ. ऐसा नहीं होगा. When we talk about the bits, it included only zeros and 1. Okay, so it included into 32 bits. For example, just I want to explain the term what is a bit, so you will get the brief idea regarding that, because we need to understand the host ID, network ID concept. So for that purpose, we require to understand. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. For example, let's say that this one is my 10 decimal number and I want to convert it into the binary number. So we have the rule of 8, 4, 2, 1. Okay. So those bits are involved in the addition will be used for 1, and those who are not participating in the addition we will use for 0. So here 8 plus 2 will get the 12, but number is a 10. Here 8 plus 1 we get the 9, but actual addition is the 10. Here 8 plus 2 we get the 10, actual addition is 10. So those participated in the addition will replace by using 0, and those who are not participating in the addition will get the 0. Okay, so this one is the binary number of 10. This one is a binary number of 10. Okay, similarly it will allow us up to 32 bit. Make a note of that. Up to 32 bit. A 32 bit तक available है. Okay, so after that it has only 4.3 billion unique addresses. Okay, another property, it has only 4.3 billion addresses. Okay, so now according to the population of whole nation, it would be 673 billion something is there. Okay, according to that 73 billion, we have only 4.3 billion unique addresses for that purpose. Okay, and each and every person has the own IP address. Okay, if they are accessing the internet, they require a unique IP address. Okay, for that reason, this one is a shortage of IP addresses. For that purpose, the IPv6 version is available. It contains 128 bit. It contains 128 bit, and it allows us to 3.4 into 10 to the power 38 unique addresses. Okay, so for that reason IPv6 आ गया. Okay, for that purpose we are using the IP address v6. Okay, currently we are using the IPv4 protocol also, and currently we are using IPv6 protocol also. Okay, majorly what we can say that majorly AWS uses IPv6 protocol. Okay, along with the IPv4 protocol also. Okay, so ये depend होता है कि जैसे shortage of IP addresses, then automatically it will be converted into the IPv6. But now after the, we can say that in the future of 5 to 10 years, totally IP address is available, IPv6 addresses is available. IPv4 कम हो जाएगा. Right now, even though I had my laptop contain IPv6 address protocol. Okay, मेरे laptop के अंदर. If you want to check, आप check भी कर सकते हैं. Just I will show you. I can show you control panel, network, adapter settings. Here I have LAN setting. Go to the property. See, internet protocol version 6. So I had the property of IP6 protocol. Okay, so IPv4 protocol भी होता है और IPv6 protocol भी होता है. ये लेटेस्ट लैपटॉप में ही आएगा, अर्लियर वर्जन में. Earlier means we can say that up to 2012, 13 like that. Okay, earlier whenever we use the laptop up to 2010, 11, तो इसमें नहीं आएगा. Okay, so this is the version. अब ये 32 bits work कैसे होता है? Just I will show you how it works. 32 bit. Yeah. So when we talk about this 32 bit, when we talk about the IPv4, so now we are discussing only for IPv4 protocol. IP Internet Protocol version 4 protocol. So this 32 bit will be scattered into 4 bits, 8, 8, 8. Okay, when we multiply, when we add them, so 8 plus 8, 16, 16 plus 8, 24, 28, 4 plus 8, 32. So ये 32 bit होता है. That means what? The bits are divided into 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits. Okay, and this 8 bit contain. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so the information will be available. अब जो classes हो गया ना, the IPv4, the classes will be depend on this 32 bit. Okay, so let's discuss about that. See, this one is a IPv4 addresses. This one is a IPv4 addresses. Now there are total 5 classes. Just understand carefully. I will give you a lots of example to identify whether it is a class A IP, whether it is a class B IP, whether it is a class C IP. Okay, and whether it is a public IP and whether it is a private IP. Each and every student will understand what is a public IP and what is a private IP. Okay, just make a note of that. Clearly understand what I am saying. Okay, so there are 5 classes: class A, class B, class C, class D, class E in the IPv4 protocol. Okay, make a note of that. Among the 5 classes, just we are using 3 classes, top 3 classes, class A, class B and class C. Okay, class D is used for the multicast addresses and class E is used for the reserve for future use. Okay, so ये future use के लिए reserve करके रखे. Total there are 5 classes. Just we are using first 3 classes, class A, class B and class C. Okay, so हम ये तीनों ही class use करते हैं. So what is that? 32-bit will be divided into 4 octet. 8-bit octet, 8-bit octet, 8-bit octet, 8-bit. When we add these 4 octet having a size of 8, then 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 is equals to 32-bit. Okay, among that, if it is a class A, then the first octet is always network ID and we cannot able to change that network ID, but rest of the part we can change. Second octet we can change. I will give you example, don't worry about that. Third octet can be changed and fourth octet also can be changed because these are the host IDs. See, host ID means whenever I connect to the internet, I will get the some IP address like 192.168.1.10. So this one is my host ID. By using that IP, I am connected to the network. Okay, so we can change these last 3 IDs. Okay, in a class A. In a class B, first 2 ID cannot able to change. First 2. Right now we are not discussing about what is public and private. We are discussing about what is a network ID and what is a host ID. Okay, so these 2 ID we cannot able to change. That means network ID cannot able to change in class B up to first 2 octet. Okay, for example, let's say example 192.168 and 10.20 so we can able to change 10.2 but we cannot able to change 192 and 168 because first 2 octet. Okay, see, according to that, just I will write here in class A like that. So assume that this one is a class A. So in that first octet is a network ID and we cannot able to change. Rest of 3 ID we can change because these are the host ID. So for example, see, so I want to change 10, we cannot able to change. Here I can use 1, here I can use 2, here I can use 101. Yes, so last की 00 की तीनों बिट मैं चेंज कर सकता हूँ. 10.10.20.5. Can I able to change that? Yes, because last की 3 changes acceptable है because these are the host ID. We can able to change 10.0.0.200 ऐसा भी चलेगा. Yes, it is valid. Okay, so this is about class A according to the definition. Second one is, assume that 172.16.0.0 for example. So in that section, first 2 part is the network ID. First 2 part is the network ID. We cannot able to change that, but rest of part we can able to change like that stuff. Example 172. Here I will use a class 172.16.10.1. We can able to change 172.16.200.1. We can able to change. Okay, so this one is, and third one is 192.168.1.0. In the third point, this is an example of class C. Okay, so in that first 3 part will be the network ID and last bit is the host ID. That means we can able to change only last bit. Okay, like that 192. 168 1.10 192 168 1.10 1.0 Okay, so just understand it. Okay, don't worry about that. Why I taken a 10, why I taken a 172, why I taken a 192, because these are the IP addresses range. Now we are discussing the what is the IP address range of class A, class B, class C. But make a note of that. Just we are dealing with these IP addresses. Class A IP address, class B IP address, and class C. Nowadays there are IP address called as a CIDR. Okay, यही IP address use कर रहे हैं हम. Okay, classless interdomain routing protocol रहता है ये CIDR. क्लासलेस इंटर डोमेन राउटिंग प्रोटोकॉल. ओके, ये AWS में बहुत जगह यूज किया गया है. ओके, सो नाउ लेट्स डिस्कस द रेंज ऑफ द IP address. Now we'll discuss the range only, and later on we'll discuss the what is the private IP range and what is the public IP range. Okay, so हम ना जनरल रेंज डिस्कशन करते हैं अभी. Okay, and later on we'll discuss about the public and private. First, class A. Okay, what is the range of class A? Up to 126. 1.0.0.0. We'll discuss, don't worry about that. Okay, later on we'll discuss. We are discussing about a general range. Okay, we are not discussing about what is a public IP and what is a private IP. Just by writing the range. And just we are discussing for only 3 ranges. Okay, so see, in that list just focus on the class D IP and class E IP. Okay, so class D IP started from the 224 to 247, just 16 bits are available. Okay, 24 bit, 20 bit, okay, 24 bits are available. Multicast address, and this one is an experimental use or future use. Okay, so D and E. Okay, so ये याद रखना कि ये range available है. Just I will share this PDP today. This PPT will be completed. I will share this PPT with you. You can create your own notes. Okay, so so these are the general range of class IPs. Okay, this is a general range that contains the public IP and private IP also. That contains the public IP and private IP also. Okay, what does it means? Okay, see, whenever we use a class A, it will start from 1.0.0.0, and it will be completed, instead of 1 we are using here 126. Okay, that means 126th number. Okay, dot here starting number is 0, ending number will be the 255. Make a note of that. Whenever we use each octet, each octet must be greater than 0 and less than 255. Make a note of that. Greater than 0 and less than 255. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि यहाँ 788 आएगा, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि यहाँ 260 आएगा, ऐसा कभी भी नहीं हो सकता कि यहाँ 800 आएगा. कभी नहीं हो सकता. Okay, make a note of that. The value of each octet is greater than 0 and less than 255. Okay, so for example, just I will give one example. So here I can use in between values 1.125 dot 126 dot 127. It is valid? Yes, it is valid. But whenever I use 333, is it valid? No, it is valid because the value is beyond 255. Okay, make a note of that. ये IP में याद रखना है. Okay. So now this is a general range. Now we'll talk about the public and private IP. See, what is the difference between private IP and public IP? See, if someone wants to communicate or someone wants to communicate with other network, then we require the public IP. For example, just I want to create one instance on AWS machine. Instance means one operating system on AWS machine, and I want to connect that machine with my local computer. For that we require public IP. Whenever I using a mobile, inside mobile, whenever I am trying to access internet inside my mobile, automatically service provider will give us a public IP. If you want to check, see here I can write what is my public IP. Currently I am connected to the internet. Okay. What is my IP करता हूँ. See, this one is my public. See, your public IP address is 110.226.155 and 83. मैंने इसको देखा तो मैं automatically I can identify that this one is a class A IP address. मुझे तो पता चल गया है because it is a class A IP address. कैसे? Because of range. I already wrote the range. The number started from 1. When we talk about first bit, class A, तो आप first bit के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Class A. When we talk about that first bit, 1 up to 26. अगर first octet in between 1 greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to 126, then we can say that this one is a class A IP. See, I got 110.226. Forget about the next bit, whatever it may be. Next bit कुछ भी रहने दो. But the first bit is a 110. It means that it is a class A IP. It means that it is a class A IP. Okay, did you get that? So आप अपने मोबाइल पे चेक करो what is my IP, आपको IP मिलेगा. Okay, I will do later. Sure. So the number starting when we talk about the first bit, see यहाँ 255 लिखा नहीं मैंने. क्यों? Because यहाँ maximum number कितना है मेरा 126. I had a maximum number is 126. The number is greater than equal to 1 and the number is less than equal to 126. It will be treated as class A IP address. Whether it is a public, whether it is a private. Whether it is public, whether it is a private. Okay, let's do that. We'll create a public range. Make a note of that. Public is only available to access the system. Okay, or if you want to connect the system, that's its purpose. Okay, so later on for internal communication, internal operation, we required a private IP. Okay, for example, I had my system, I connected AWS account. Okay, inside that AWS account has one private IP and I had my private IP, so they can communicate with each other. Okay, once we log in into the system by using a public IP, later on all operation can be done by using a private IP. Okay, so बाद में पता चलेगा when we create first instance on AWS, तो आपको slowly पता चलेगा. Okay, don't worry about that, but just आपको ना अभी difference ही पता चला है कि what is the difference between public IP and private IP. तो ये public IP कैसे दिखते हैं, private IP कैसे दिखते हैं, ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. Okay, so this one is a general range. Okay, so here in this one range, so here called as a local host. इसकी ना range होती है local host की 127.0.0.0 up to 127.255.255. Okay, that means the number starting with 127 and ended with 127. Okay, starting with 0 ended with 255, starting with 0 ended with 255, starting with 0 ended with 21, called as a localhost. Okay, इंटरनल कम्युनिकेशन के लिए यूज किया जाता है, कॉल्ड एज अ लोकल होस्ट. ओके, अगर आपने वेब डेवलपमेंट की क्लास वगैरह किए होंगे तो आपको पता है वैम्प सर्वर होता है. ओके, जैम्प सर्वर होता है, वैम्प सर्वर होता है, तो उनको इंस्टॉल करने के लिए वी रिक्वायर्ड अ लोकल सर्वर. सो दिस वन इज माय लोकल सर्वर. So in the class A, now we are discussing about the range. So the number starting with 1, 0.0.0, 2, 9, 255, 255, 255. Okay, so this one is a class A IP range, public IP range. और ये हो जाएगा 11.0.0.0 to 126.255.255.255. So this one is the class A IP public range. अब इसे ऑब्जर्व क्या होगा, अगर आपको पब्लिक मिल गया है तो यू कैन इजीली गेट द प्राइवेट IP रेंज. So that means the number starting with 1 and ending with 9, the number starting with 11 ending with 126, that means only 10 number is missing. 10 number missing है ना, तो 10 number is a private IP. So class A public IP. Class A public IP. Okay, so this one is a class A public IP. Let's talk about class A private IP. अब public IP अगर मुझे मिल गया ना तो easily I can get the private IP. Easily I can get the private IP. So here I will write. So here I can write private IP. So what will be the range of private IP? Okay, so just we need to write 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255. अब इससे क्या समझ में आ रहा है कि अगर आपको स्टार्टिंग नंबर 10 दिखाई देगा तो उसे क्या कहेंगे, क्लास सी जनरल इंफॉर्मेशन. क्लास ए रेंज कहां से होगी, 1 to 126, 1 to 126. अब 1 to 126 में 10 भी आता है, दैट मीन्स इट इज अ क्लास ए आईपी. It is a class A IP, but if it is a class A IP, but we need to find out whether it is a public IP or whether it is a private IP. अगर 10 से स्टार्ट होता है तो ही उसे प्राइवेट IP ऑफ क्लास A कहेंगे. प्राइवेट IP ऑफ क्लास A. अगर 10 से स्टार्ट नहीं हो रहा है, द नंबर स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 1 to 126 एक्सेप्ट 10, तो उसे कहेंगे क्लास A पब्लिक IP. क्लास A public IP. That's it. Okay. So now we'll discuss about class B public IP. Okay. class B public IP कहाँ से स्टार्ट होते हैं, 128 से. 128.0.0 0.0.0 to 172.15.255.255. ओके, एंड उसके बाद में स्टार्ट होते हैं 172.31. Just 1 minute. Right. 32.0.0 to 1. रेंज क्या है इसकी, 191. Okay, done. This one is a public IP range for what do we say, class B. Just 1 minute. Okay, so this one is a public IP range of class B. See, the number starting with 128 and the number ending with 191 will be treated as a class B IP address. Okay, will be treated as a class B IP address. Number starting with 128, the number ending with 191. Okay, but इसमें ना private और public IP, अगर public IP मिल गया तो private easily we can get. So the number starting with 128 and the number ending with 172.15. Okay, that means this one is my network ID. Okay, and this one my host ID. Okay, so उसके बाद में 172.32 से स्टार्ट हो जाएगा तो 191. That means प्राइवेट आईपी अगर मुझे मिलाना है यहाँ तो इजीली आई कैन गेट. और क्लास 2 के प्राइवेट आईपी ना कम ही होते हैं, क्लास के ही ज्यादा होते हैं एज कंपेयर टू ऑल अदर प्राइवेट आईपीज. सी आई विल गिव एग्जांपल, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. तो आपको थोड़ा सा पता चलेगा और ये आपको रिवाइज करना पड़ेगा सेशन तो ही समझ में आएगा. एंड आई विल शेयर दैट पीपीटी आल्सो, डोंट वरी. 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. So this one is a range of private IP. ये रेंज होगी ना प्राइवेट आईपी की. और ये नंबर ना that will not included inside a public IP. Okay, so ये public IP के अंदर included है क्या? नहीं, it is not included inside the public IP. Did you get that? Okay, so the number starting with 172.16, make a note of that. यहाँ नहीं है, 15 तक है. The number starting with 172.16 up to 172.31 will be treated as private IP in class B. Will be treated as private IP in class B. Make a note of that. And class C तो easy है. Class C public IP. With the range of the 192.0.0.0 up to that 192.168. जनरल रेंज है इसकी 192 to 223.255.255. just 1 minute. Is it a general range? 192 से स्टार्ट हो जाएगा 223, राइट. एंड द प्राइवेट आईपी इज जस्ट 192. प्राइवेट आईपी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम 192.168.0.0 to 192.168.255.255. सो इसे थोड़ा सा चेंज करना पड़ेगा. 192 से 192.167.255.255. और ये यहाँ आ जाएगा 192.169.0.02. That means just एक सिंगल लाइन ही है. 192 अगर दिखा कहीं आपको 192.168 along with 168. सी 192 देखा तो आपको पब्लिक भी आईपी मिल सकता है और प्राइवेट भी मिल सकता है. बट 192.168 दिखा तो आप कह सकते हैं दिस वन इज अ क्लास सी प्राइवेट आईपी. दिस वन इज अ क्लास सी प्राइवेट आईपी. ओके, so this is overall about the IP. अभी public range लिखा है private. Just I will memorize what is the private IP and range. So just quickly public IP की range मैंने लिख के दी थी. अब separate मैं private IP की range लिख के देता हूँ आपको 1 prime. And after that will complete the IPv4 protocol and IPv6 protocol. Okay, so in that just we need to write class A. Class A will be started from 10.0.0.0 to part व्हायला पाहिजे 255 10.255.255.255. okay, अगर कहीं भी आपको टैग दिखाई देता है then we can say that this one is a class A private IP. okay, class B private IP will be started from 172.16.0.0 up to 172.16 instead of that 13.0.255.255. That means what? We can use up to 16, 17, 18, 19 up to 31. We can use up to that. Okay, 31 तक हम use कर सकते हैं. This one is a class B. And last one is a class C IP address will be started from 172.168.0.0 and up to just 192.168.255.255. okay, so आपके सामने range है, just quickly summarize it and answer it. okay, so just we'll do it in chat box. okay, आपको reply देना है inside a chat box. आपको रिप्लाई क्या देना है, whether it is a class A IP or whether it is a class B IP, whether it is a class C IP, or whether it is a public IP or whether it is a private IP. okay, so disable root. बताओ whether it is a which type of IP, whether it is a, first of all understand whether it is a public or private, whether it is a public or private. Is it I am audible? Is it I am audible?
Yes, sir.
okay, so do one thing. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा heavy नहीं व्हायला पाहिजे. I will share this document with you right now. I will share this document. Do the study and if you have any problem let me know on a group. okay, so मैं आगे के कमांड लूंगा, फिर नहीं समझ में आएगा. Instead of that just understand this concept public IP and private IP. I will share this PPT with you network. okay, ये आपके साथ मैं PPT शेयर करता हूँ. even though I can share in the app also. okay, for regular CS second year student. okay, and group में मैं आपको शेयर करता हूँ third year student के लिए. okay, so just do the study and let me know if you have any query right now. okay, does anyone have query?